After Foreign Affairs Minister Harry Kalaba resigned from government, the Democratic Party invited him to become its presidential candidate. Mr. Kalaba's response was that there are so many political parties that have invited him to stand on their party ticket in 2021. This is Nightlife. I'm Francesca Phiri-Banda. We'll take a break. Welcome back. Now, this is an interactive forum, and we will be taking calls for those who wish to participate. And the number you'll be calling is 0950-936-271, and it is showing on the screen right now. My guest tonight is a senior member of the Democratic Party. He's also a former diplomat to Canada. His name is Mr. Nedson Nzowa. Now, your party has been associated with Mr. Kalaba. But before we come to that, who are the Democratic Party? Your ideals, your values, your mission?
Oh, thank you, Francesca, for inviting me to your program. It's my first time here. I'm very excited. Thank you so much. Now, you asked who are the Democratic Party. As the name suggests, Democratic Party is a political party whose values, ideals, as you've asked, are all anchored on democratic tenets and ideals, which are lacking currently in most political parties.
And how long has the party been in existence?
This party has been in existence since 1993. It's one of the oldest parties. It's one of the oldest parties that's been in existence since 1993.
Why has it not been, participating actively in elections?
It used to. It used to. It was formed by the late Mr. Mwamba. May his soul rest in peace. He's a Ndola person. He was our father. I'm a Ndola person, so I'm aware of this very well. And he even stood as a president. It's only that we had so many presidential candidates, and people ignored the other names. But it's been there, and it's been existing since that time.
So recently on social media and other print media, there were speculations about the deregistration of the Democratic Party. What is the status of the party as of now?
Well, the party is still alive, well and alive. But I want to say this, Francesca, that we've had problems with the registrar of societies. It's like every organization or political party associated with Honorable Kalaba will be pursued until they crush it. Now, the registrar's office is supposed to be a non-partisan organization. It's supposed to serve the Zambians. But now it has become like a branch of the Patriotic Front. It's a committee of the Patriotic Front. So they get instructions from the party. We don't want Kalaba to form his party, for no reason. But I think because he's a formidable candidate. They know that. He's a formidable candidate, and his name is resonating very well with the people on the ground.
Could you give probably more examples when you say that any party that is associated with Mr. Kalaba, some people want to bring it down? Could you just substantiate those claims?
Oh, yes. There was Zambia Democrats, whose application was launched by Mr. Ngoma. And that Zambian Democrat, it was in the newspapers. It was linked to Honorable Kalaba. And what happened is that they disallowed the registration. And, it was very funny. The reasons for rejecting the registration was, in the letter, was due to various reasons. We reject your application. Mm-hmm. Your application cannot be entertained due to various reasons. What's that? It's a bunch of baloney. I've never heard of such unprofessionalism. Because how do you appeal? If I say due to various reasons, Francesca, I cannot do this, how do you appeal? You are fired due to various reasons. How can you appeal? Because the law allows a political party that has been denied registration to appeal. Now, how do you appeal? So I was involved in the Zambia Democrats. We tried to follow the procedures enshrined in the law, and the lawyers have been handling that. But we were invited together with Honorable Kalaba by the Democratic Party. And I joined. Honorable Kalaba did not join, but he was adopted as the presidential candidate for 2021.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so now you've just mentioned, Mr. Kalaba. Who is he, or well, what is he to the party? Is he the main sponsor of the DP?
Oh, no, far from it. He doesn't sponsor the party. The party is self-sponsored. They raise money from the members. Most of the members, when they are on assignment, they pay for their fuel or any other costs. They foot the bill. He doesn't chip in anything. Even him, if he is traveling, he travels on his cost. Yeah, but you asked who is Kalaba. Honorable Kalaba is a believer in democracy. And personally, I got attracted to him because in many years of my political career since 1990, I've never seen a leader who would leave such a lucrative position like foreign affairs, resign and leave it citing corruption. You just leave it for the sake of the people. I've never seen that. It's unprecedented, and I only hope he has opened doors for other leaders in government who do not agree with certain things which are very egregious to resign on moral ground, because you cannot have it both ways. You are seeing corruption, and because you don't want to lose your job, you stay. Most of them are staying because they want to keep their jobs, but they know that there's something wrong going on.
You're watching Nightlife, and tonight we are with Mr. Nedson Nzowa, who is the former diplomat to Canada and is also a senior member of the Democratic Party. We'll take a break. We'll be right back, and we'll be able to take your calls on 0950 936 271. This is Nightlife. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. So, Mr. Nzowa, why the Democratic Party now and immediately associated with Honorable Kalaba? We did, I did ask you earlier on to say it's been in recess for years. Why now?
It hasn't been in recess. I think it wasn't very active, but it was alive, well, and kicking.
Well, that could be the definition of a recess, because we're not hearing about the activities that it was doing when it's on the ground.
Right. Yeah. But it's not been on recess. I just want to correct that. Okay. It's been well and kicking. Democratic Party felt it within themselves that they needed a leader who can lead the party. And after their own consultations and deliberations, they settled on Honorable Kalaba. Say, why don't we invite him? Because they are denying him a political party, and they are denying anybody associated with him to form a political party. So they saw it within themselves that no, let's invite him. And besides, the people love him so much because of the decision he took over corruption. And people have never seen such a thing. You leave a good position, very high position, and resign because of corruption, which he tried to resolve within the PF, but he was not given a chance. The atmosphere was not conducive for him to continue anymore after raising certain issues with his colleagues in the party. So he did the honorable thing by leaving.
All right. So let's just get to hear from Kelvin, who's calling us all the way from Kazungula. Kelvin, you're through to Nightlife. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, good evening once again.
Good evening.
I want the senior member of that party to exactly tell us who Honorable Kalaba is. Is he the president of that party or not? Thank you.
That's a question coming from
Oh,
Kazungula.
thank you very much, my brother from Kazungura. At the moment, Honorable Kalaba is not the president. There is a president of the party, Mr. Kalumba, who's in Kitwe, is based in Kitwe. He's not the president at the moment. And you cannot just join the party and start displacing people. You respect the people that you find in the organization. But it has been resolved by the Democratic Party, but that he will be our candidate for 2021.
Isn't that ironic, saying that, you're a party that, would like to embrace the tenets of democracy? I mean, will you adopt or just endorse him without subjecting him to a democratic process of an election?
That's true. That's why we didn't want him to just come. They didn't want him, not we, because I went with him from the, and he refused just to be taken in as president, and displaced people were there. He said, I don't want this. It's not about the position. So there have been discussions. Mind you, it's not only the Democratic Party that has invited.
Please hold that thought. We do have Gerard Zulu calling us from Dola. Gerard, good evening. Welcome to Nightlife. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, evening once more again. My question is directed to the one who's being interviewed, Demanda. I would want to find out why he said he was attracted to Mr. Kalaba because he left the party. Isn't that a sign of some kind of, maybe for lack of better terms, cowardice? Why would he leave the party instead of maybe solving the problems that were in the party? How should we trust him, or why should we trust him that he's going to solve the problems of the nation if at all he's given a presidential position? So that's my question. Why should we trust him? When he left the party, why didn't he maybe try to deal with the things that he was having in the party, or the corruption that was in the party in which he was?
Gerald, thank you for your question. Mr. Nzowa, that's a question for you.
Yeah, thank you, Gerald. I did not say he left Patriotic Front. He hasn't left. And there's certain things that that he has to do. He's busy consulting. He has not left the Patriotic Front because he has to consult with the people of Bahati, and eventually he will make a decision himself.
So for now, you would say that...
But I wanted to just answer what he said. Why didn't he stay and solve those problems in the party? Look, if you are in the party and you are raising concerns over certain serious issues, very serious issues, and you are not being given room, and you are being treated like a rabble-rouser or a troublemaker, in the end you do the honorable thing and resign. I would give another example. Former President Michael Sata, he was in MMD. It's because they never took him seriously, the things he was raising. He resigned and formed the PF. This resigning issue should not even be a bigger issue. We can go backwards, and you find that people whose ideals were being marginalized or rejected, or had to resign at one point if you cannot be entertained or tolerated.
You're calling 0950-936-271 on Nightlife, and tonight we're talking with Mr. Nzowa, who's from the Democratic Party, and he is a senior member there. So before we got that interruption, before we get ahead with the questions, we do have another Mr. Tembo calling us all the way from Ndola. Mr. Tembo, please go through with your question. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. But you can just go ahead and talk about, the issue of Mr. Kalaba belonging to the Patriotic Front as well as the Democratic Party, where you're saying that you would like to adopt him as president one day, as president of the party. Could you just clarify those two?
Well, I think Honorable Kalaba is at the moment busy doing a lot of consultations. And, these are not decisions that you just make just like that off the cuff and you say, oh, I've resigned or what. If you resign his position, it will be done after a thorough consultation. And his constituents, mind you, who elected him, have a bigger stake in this. So we are allowing him to finish that phase, and at an ideal time, he himself will make his position known.
And finally, as the Democratic Party, what are your future aspirations? What's the future of the Democratic Party? Let's say 2021. Do you have any, chances at the presidential elections or even parliamentary and municipal council?
Oh yes, yes. Oh yes. The chances are very, very big. We have right now there is a void, a big vacuum in this country in terms of leadership, and the people have only known two big parties. It's either UPND or PF. But we are providing a platform for those people who do not believe in certain aspects that make them uncomfortable in either way. But look, we are receiving so many people. Right now, the response on the ground is been overwhelming. People may say, but we are not seeing them. Our strategy is very, very serious, and our strategy is very effective. We are going to the people. We've formed structures throughout the country right now. We have firm, solid structures in any town, including the town Ndola where my colleagues called from, because I'm from Ndola myself. I'm sure they know me. We have structures there. All the way Lundazi, we have structures. So we are a formidable organization, and very soon people start seeing the seriousness that is in the Democratic Party.
I've been speaking with a senior member of the Democratic Party. The name is Mr. Nedson Nzowa. This has been Nightlife. Remember, you can also inbox us on our Facebook page, or you can call us on the number that's been on the screen if you want us to tackle issues that are affecting your community. I'm Francesca Phiri-Banda. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the news. Good night.